This is my update video. Without prejudice, I am going to discredit DJI's analysis of my flight. I uploaded the data to DJI's website. It's been analysed by their technical engineer, Dora, who did the initial analysis. I've got the proof that this analysis is flawed, completely inadequate. My case got escalated when I made the first video and put it on YouTube. The technical supervisor, Stefan van der Berk, then took it on himself to look at my case. Again, he assessed all the information that Dora had provided to him, and his conclusion was the same, that it was the high wind that took the drone away. I'm going to discredit everything. I'm going to discredit the flight report, the flight log. I'm going to prove that DJI have manipulated, changed, or corrupted the information on the flight log beyond doubt. And I will prove that Stefan van der Berk, the technical supervisor who is overseeing my case, is unqualified and unable to analyse data in a sufficient manner to do his job credibly. Now, that's a bold statement to make, but it is a true one. I have all the facts and I will show them to you. It's not good news. Not yet. The battle is on. So if you didn't see the first video, please watch it. It's got all the facts about what happened on the second flight of 57 seconds, where the drone, the DJI MAVIC Air, took off, did its little thing in the garden, just hovered there. It was above my head, doing its thing, and then it just flew away. As soon as the home point logged on the GPS, it flew. It went 30 miles an hour away to the west. Gone. Couldn't do anything. I had loss of, as soon as it logged GPS home point, the screen went blank. It just went signal lost and it flew off. So big massive thank you to my FPV who watched the first video, took the time to look at the data that I'd put on the screen. And I cannot thank you enough. I really can't, because you're amazing. You picked up on these little details, which is what I was hoping for. Complete novice. I'm a complete novice with this. Is the first drone I've had. I don't know anything. Well, I didn't know anything about them. And you picked up on this battery information straight away. Highlighted it, which I've got highlighted. This was the DJI report that the support sent me back. What we did, as in the first one, not to go over it all again, I had to upload the flight logs to the DJI Go. Had to upload all of that. That all went to DJI support. They analysed all of the information and came back with their decision, saying that the high wind on the day blew the drone away. It couldn't return to home. So I got all of the met data, weather reports. I got the reports from the local airport. Still, they weren't satisfied. They said it was the high wind that blew it away. I'm going to go into all of this in more detail. I'm going to show you everything, so please stick with me. But this information that my FPV picked up on the initial log has created a whole catalyst of events, and I'm going to tell you all about it. It is it is so amazing how it's all panned out. If you have a drone, a DJI drone, not Mavic Air, any DJI drone, there's loads of videos on sparks flying away and all sorts like that. If you have ever had one fly away, watch this space, watch this video. I'm going to tell you some stuff that's been going on that you will be interested in, and it may well impact on your claim. Future claim, pass claim. Check your data. I'll show you what to look for. Something's going on. This battery information was highlighted to myself. What the information is as follows. DJI Mavic Air have batteries with 3 cells in them. Okay, here we have the Mavic Air. There it is, the intelligent battery. This is a screenshot of DJI's website where it says LiPo 3S. That is 3 cells. Here is a photo of a battery with 3 cells. This particular one, the Mavic Air, has a battery that's rated at 11.5 volts. The information that DJI sent back to me was for a battery voltage, this was on takeoff, of 15840 millivolts, or 15.8 volts. And it also had 4 cells. So straight away, this mega guy picked this information up for me and said, this information can't be from your drone. It's got to be a mistake. So I highlighted this and went back to DJI expecting them to say, oh, really sorry, we've just made a little bit of an error here and mixed up a bit of information. But no, they went on to try and make it credible by saying the battery information we've shown is correct. They said, but it is not referenced during the flight. The DJI Mavic series, so not just saying the Mavic Air, they're saying the Mavic series, the Mavic Pro, doesn't reference battery data when in flight. So they're saying it doesn't send any information back to the controller when it's in flight. This is the actual screenshot of the email from DJI support. The reason they said that was because they give me 2 screenshots. The first screenshot, the voltage was 15840, and on the screenshot at 57 seconds, the voltage was exactly the same, 15840. And I queried that. I said, hang on a minute, this can't be right because it's not used any volts, and yet it's flew 400 feet. That is why they tried to cover their tracks and said that this voltage is not referenced. Now, we know it is. We all know it is, because that's got an intelligent battery in it. It's advertised as having an intelligent battery in it. And if you didn't reference the voltage, you'd never know how much was in there, and then you wouldn't know when to bring it back. So, it was a major error on their part. But they still wouldn't admit it. I then used, with help from a drone expert, the Phantom Help Log Viewer. So we uploaded the files from my final flight off of the DJ Go app. So we've got all that flight log data. We've put it into an independent log viewer. Got all the information out of that for that final flight. It is absolutely spot on. It is credible. It shows 3 battery cells. It shows the actual voltage, which is correct. So you can see on this independent data, we've got battery voltage at the start, we've got cells 1, 2 and 3. So it started off at the correct voltages and it petered out, and this information is transmitted constantly throughout the flight. It is credible. This is incredible. The importance of this information is that this data that DJI support have given back to me is the only information that they're using to say that my weather reports from the Met Office and the local airport are not correct, and that the wind was strong enough to blow the drone away, when the information that they're trying to use is completely false, completely wrong. So I'm not, this goes on. We had emails pinging backwards and forwards every time they said their information was right, my information was wrong. I am incorrect, I'm at fault, it is my fault, the aircraft flew away. They made one more fundamental error. The last final report that they sent back to me to say that I was at fault and it was the wind that blew it away. They got it all mixed up, completely mixed up. It's bizarre. Here we go. The last piece of information, the last email that they said, which was their final decision, was, this was the last part of it. This is the important bit. And it shows the same screenshot of the 57 seconds, the last piece of information that the drone gave to us before it disappeared. And in this information, all of a sudden as well, it's got a nice red wind error, which has popped up. That wasn't on the original one. But anyway, it shows the battery voltage has changed. How amazing is that? Because it doesn't reference battery voltage, yet it has changed. It's still not for my drone. It's still showing a battery that's got 4 cells and way too much voltage, but it has changed. So that was the first little error they made. Clearly on this screenshot you can see a voltage of 15362 millivolts or 15.3 volts. The second one then, when I started looking at this data on this sheet, everything on it, the latitude, the longitude, that is all spot on. So the actual GPS data, the location of it is absolutely correct. The time in the flights is 57 seconds. That is all correct. But all the information below it is different. The battery temperature is different. The current was different. And the last and final piece of data that they got totally wrong is this. I'd been badgering them, saying I have data saying exactly where the wind was blowing and exactly how strong it was blowing. Throughout all of my emails, I've asked them repeatedly to tell me what was the wind direction and how hard was it blowing to blow this aircraft away. Their final email here, they said, so we can confirm that the wind direction is the direction of the aircraft path northeast. This is a screenshot of that email and you can clearly see at the bottom northeast. Hang on a minute, it went west. Where they got that from? That's ridiculous. And it even shows it on the map that it's going west. Just another totally fundamental flaw. And again, it is unbelievable. I've made them aware of all of this. They still say, no, our information is correct. You are wrong. We will not replace your drone under warranty. Another piece of really important information. When DJI were making this decision on the wind direction, they've referenced the tilted pitch and the roll. Now, I've done my research on this, and there's the fundamentals of aircraft flight. There are 3 things that you need to know. There's the pitch, there's the roll, and there's the yaw. If you don't use all of those pieces of information, you're never ever going to get the thing to fly in the right direction. This engineer who has created this report has only referenced 2 things. The third issue is there. It's highlighted in the box. 49.3 degrees of yaw. That's a lot of yaw. And that's why, when you look at this, the aircraft isn't pointing in the direction it was travelling. It was going forwards, but it was pointing to the side, and that is the yaw. So if you're talking pitch, roll, and yaw, by altering the yaw on the aircraft, it is completely changing which way the blades will be blowing. Completely changes all of their information. They haven't referenced it. Welcome to the Bays of Truth. Right, now what we've got is an analysis. I'm going to try and just show you how ridiculous it is. So this is the final report that I got from DJI. In this report, it shows the direction of the aircraft. It shows that the home point was logged. All straightforward, you would think. Let's just demonstrate. Right then, so north. North is that direction, straight up the table. Okay. Home point. Home point is just there. That's the home. That is where it is. Little fly drone takes off from the home point. After having its major fail, it flies to the west, pointing in that direction. Okay. The direction of flight, that is where it went. DJI's first wind analysis, they said that the wind had taken the drone away. This high wind that was so strong that it blew the drone away. Their first analysis is obviously that way, because that's the way the drone went. So they're saying the wind, they're saying the wind was blowing west. The actual data from the airport, the Met Office, all credible data, absolutely 100% correct, says that the wind was blowing from 240 degrees, which is from the west to the east. So the wind direction is completely opposite to where the drone went. So the drone flew to the west. The wind was blowing from the west to the east. After all of the analysis that DJI had given me, saying that the strong wind was the problem and that is the only reason it didn't do a return to home, their last analysis that they sent to me here we can confirm that the wind direction is the direction of the aircraft path northeast. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. So after all of this moaning and groaning and blah de blah de blah, they're saying the aircraft flew with the direction of the wind to the northeast. You ready for this? It's over there. So they've actually the final direction that the DJI support decided the wind was blowing is to the northeast, and the drone flew to the west. The GPS data shows the drone flew to the west. It's bizarre. Right, little drone experiment. What I've replicated here, this is my drone. The phone is the drone. This is the front of the drone. There he is, look, flying away. Okay, so direction of flight, and it is exactly going into the wind. The small wind that there was, the drone is flying directly into it. As you can see, this arrow here is the direction of the wind from 240 degrees. This is the direction of flight. That one is north. North is pointing that way. So what we've got here is a little angle meter. This looks quite nice. Pretty good. So I'm going to just put the roll, tilt and yaw all onto my little model here. 19.7 degrees pitch and a 15-point resist long span. This means that the plane is tilting right rear. 19.7 pitch. That's pretty close. 19.78. Okay. So then we also got the roll. 15.9 roll. 15.9. So we'll just check that again. Nearest damn it. 20, 21. So that is the position of the drone. But the one piece of information that they missed was the 49 degrees of yaw. So at the minute, the plane is like that, it's blowing down, which you would indicate that it would be slowing or trying to push the aircraft that way. If we put this yaw, this 49 degrees, let's change that. So I want 49 degrees, which is right there. It's quite a bit, this is. Look what's going to happen when we tilt this to 49 degrees. So lo and behold, it is now no longer fighting against that direction. It is blowing with the direction. That is why yaw wasn't referenced. Finally, on this technical part, we just need to go into one final piece of information. DJI support claimed that the drone was attempting to return to home through the loss of signal, because it lost the signal right at the home. They say that the house blocked the signal, causing it to lose connection. So, return to home states when signal is lost, when connection is lost, the DJI MAVIC Air will attempt to return to home. Home point was logged. So the drone lifted, hovered by the side of the house, got its GPS home lock, and then started to move away. It went behind the house. That is where DJI claimed that the house blocked the signal and it lost its connection. So what should happen with DJI's return to home, as soon as the signal is lost, it is supposed to return to home, which means it turns around and comes back. It doesn't, this is important, it doesn't fly away and then come backwards to home. That is not how return to home works. They fly away, return to home activates, it turns around and comes back forwards. That is a fact. And as we can see on the picture, the drone just there is still going away from home. So although it's lost its connection, it is still accelerating. It's not attempting to come back. It is accelerating away, getting faster and faster and faster as it's moving away until it reaches almost top speed of 30 miles an hour. Gone. So, categorically, return to home did not work. I must thank Dora, the DJI technical support engineer, for the original report, because it was so manipulated that it makes it uncredible. I must also thank Stefan for checking it over and incriminating himself within this falsified evidence. Stefan the DJI technical support supervisor who is overseeing the case. I did a little bit of digging. I like to know what I'm up against, what kind of person they are, what they look like. You got this name on a sheet, that's what I want to know. Linking, found all his information. He was a support advisor on the phones to start with. He got his promotion to supervisor 8 months ago. Now you think, what kind of guy is this? This guy's pretty clued up. He's got to know a fair bit about aviation and data analysis. No. Stefan, in his own words, hasn't finished any education. As you can see, bottom left, unfortunately, I have no finished education. He hasn't got any qualifications in anything. I've got more qualifications than Stefan. It's ridiculous. So DJI are employing unqualified people to analyse and assess aeronautical data, GPS information, and discredit people like mine's reports to get out of paying for warranty claims for DJI. Here's the information. He finished school in 2016, then went to work for Vac and Vuller Glass Doors. He moved on to Macro as a sales assistant before moving to DJI in 2015. He got up to supervisor and has been there for 8 months. So our friend Stefan is completely unqualified, and by looking at his LinkedIn, I think he wants a new job. I had a few people say, oh, you should have took out DJI Care, because, you know, within 48 hours you would have got another drone. Incorrect. I've looked at the small print. The fact is, if you have a flyaway and you cannot retrieve your drone, they will not replace it. The only time DJI Care will replace your aircraft is if you can find it and send it back to them. They will not replace it if it's gone. I'll put a link in, because another guy who had this happen. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, I've got to take this further. I am taking this further. I've got shed loads of information. It is all down and it is all going to be done legally. It's a real shame. Did not want to go down this route, but I have no choice. I'm not letting this go. Not at all. I really need to say thank you to everybody that has commented, everybody that's shown support for this unbelievable account of events. It's something I didn't want to get involved in. I don't want to get involved in it, to be fair. If DJI replaced my drone today, sent me another one, I would forget the whole thing. I do not want to go down this route, but I will. So, let's crack on. Again, thank you to everybody. Please like, subscribe, drop me some comments. Let's fight this together. The power of YouTube is unbelievable, and I really want to thank everybody once again for watching.